Forest Demon Deacons taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers, coming your way from the Coliseum in Charleston, West Virginia. Mike Corey and Mark Adams. Let's do it, my friend. These two teams in this non-conference matchup, they can often be critical. And for these two, why is that here tonight?
Especially when you have Power 5 versus Power 5. The ACC versus the Big 12 in Charleston, West Virginia tonight. Doesn't get much better than that for Holiday Hoops.
All right, here we go. Players to keep an eye on in this one. Let's start with West Virginia.
For West Virginia, we got Honor Huff. Honor Huff is one of the most feared snipers in college basketball. At Chattanooga, he led the country with 131 three-point field goals while shooting over 41%. This dude can flat out load it up. For Wake Forest, it's Juke Harris. He's the most improved player in the country through a lot of hard work. He's increased his scoring average by 14 points to over 19 points per game. There you see the dominating numbers. Juke Harris is an NBA talent. Let's get ready for some Holiday Hoops in Charleston, West Virginia, between the ACC and the Big 12.
This is going to be a fun one here tonight. Pretty evenly matched game between these two. Now, you were at the West Virginia practice the other day up in Morgantown.
Yeah.
You took the couple 2.5-hour drive down here to Charleston. So basically a neutral site, so to speak. But what do you think this is going to be like?
Well, listen, the folks from Southern West Virginia are all in town today for this basketball game. We've got a huge crowd here in the Coliseum in Charleston, and these are hungry Mountaineer fans that often don't get up to Morgantown. So you're going to see a wild and raucous Mountaineer fan base here tonight in Charleston.
Our officials for this one, Adam Flory with Shane Staggs and James Duke. These two teams coming in here, Wake Forest at 6-3, West Virginia at 7-2. West Virginia coming off the 91-49 win over Coppin State, but for Wake Forest, coming off a tough one the other night, Mark. Oklahoma, 86-68. Weren't really in that ball game. That hasn't usually been the case for them this year. They've had a really good season up to this point.
Yeah, Steve Forbes, the head coach for Wake Forest, said, I was disappointed in how we played against Oklahoma, and he should be. Normally, Wake Forest is a team that manufactures points on the offensive glass and also off of turnovers. Let's see if they can get it going up and down tonight.
Adam Flory throws it in the air, and we're underway here in Charleston, West Virginia. 10,000 plus on hand here tonight. Not too many seats left in this one. And it's going to be the Mountaineers that have the first possession of tonight's game. And here's Huff. Messing on the three, but it's knocked out by Wake Forest.
Well, and that's why Honor Huff made 131 threes last year. Look, he shoots almost 42% from three-point land. This is a young man that is not shy for Ross Hodge, and Ross Hodge has complete confidence in number 3 in gold tonight, Honor Huff. There he is.
Eaglestaff gets it back here. This is Trayson Eaglestaff to the corner for Brennan Lorient. And that's going to be a travel.
Well, Wake Forest really physical defensively in the first half-court set. They're bristling from that loss to Oklahoma just earlier this week.
Time now for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Skyscanner. And what is the strength of this starting five for Wake Forest?
Wake Forest is a go. They average over 82 points a game. They want to get up and down. They want to get points off turnovers. They want to score early in a possession.
Omaha Ballou missing a three badly. And here comes Eaglestaff the other way for West Virginia. And how about the starting five and the strength of the Mountaineers here tonight?
The Mountaineers are, whoa. They want to turn this into a dogfight just like that. Obioha inside. They want to get second chance points. They want to do down and dirty. They want to get gritty with their defensive transition and play half court. They are a whoa, and Wake Forest is a go.
Missing on the three, Miles Colvin here for Wake Forest. Mountaineers in a hurry. Here's Huff. Trying to dump it inside. Obioha. Back out Floyd. It's a three, and that's off.
Now, West Virginia, they're going to try to work through Obioha a lot. Number 55 in gold. He's a large man among a lot of large men. That dude is big.
You talked about him at the start, but how great has Juke Harris been, number 2 in black for Wake Forest?
Most improved player in the country. Keep your eye on number 2. He has the ball right there, Juke Harris. He's added layers to his game. He's a multi-dimensional offensive weapon.
Pass got deflected. He got it back. There's 5 to shoot. Takes it in, and he's blocked by Obioha. And the shot clock is going to expire.
Something's got to give. There's Steve Forbes. He's a go. He wants Wake Forest to get up and down at 82.5 points per game. Ross Hodge is a whoa, and they slow the game down, and they defend you. They grind you into pulp at the end of a game. 56.6 points per game. Who will win this battle of wills tonight between the ACC and the Big 12?
It's up to Hodge for 3. Another miss, and the rebound by Wake Forest is Trayvon Spillers. And it's intercepted. Lorient. Good job getting back on D. That's this team.
Early in this game, advantage West Virginia. It's at their pace. Their defensive transition has been perfect.
Foul inside. And it's Harlan Obioha to the free throw line for 2. Well, you and I spent a lot of time with this guy, Ross Hodge, back last year with North Texas. What a job he did. And now to come here, and he has an identity, right? He has what he wants to do with his team. You can recruit to that identity. It's hard-nosed. It's defense. It's been pretty phenomenal what he's done.
He recruits winners. He did it in North Texas, and he's doing it in West Virginia now. Honor Huff, for example, winning the NIT championship, which you saw right from this seat, by the way, is the play-by-play voice of the NIT for ESPN. He wants winners, he recruits winners, and they win with him. They trust him. They believe in him. He is the defensive Yoda of college basketball.
Well, and we've talked about it, and the players recognize that. You know, you can get to where you want to go, and you look good when the team looks good, right? When you win, and you're not just in it for yourself, and you have to be a team-oriented player to play for him, because it's defense. It's about clamping down.
Yeah, there has to be a high level of trust and a high level of belief, and that's what this program is built on right now. These West Virginia fans are going to love the Ross Hodge way.
Both teams right now are combined 0 for 6 from three-point range, and that changes as Juke Harris knocks down the 3.
Yeah, NBA. Look, he only shot 30% from 3 a year ago. Now almost 37% from behind the arc. He's improved his game through hard work 2 times a day, every day throughout the offseason.
Grew up 40 minutes away from Wake Forest in Salisbury, North Carolina. You talk about improvement. He had about 6 points a game on average last year. He's up to almost 20 this season. Back to Huff. Shot clock at 5. Jasper Floyd. 2 to around, and that's a shot violation. So each team's had 1 so far here tonight.
Yeah, for Wake Forest, the story has been about the improvement of Juke Harris. Look, over the summer, he came into the workout facility 2 times every day, in the morning and in the evening, and he lifted in between. And it was an everyday thing. He credits all of his improvement to his work ethic in the offseason. He's made himself into a guy that NBA scouts are salivating over right now. He's at 6'7". He can handle it, he can pass it, he can shoot it, he can drive it, and he can defend.
Nate Calmise has it here for Wake Forest. He's dealing with the broken nose. You see him wearing the mask here. Demon Deacons. Inside, Lorient on the D, and alters the shot. That's on McColvin, and this ball goes out of bounds, and it's back to Wake Forest.
Sometimes Wake Forest forgets who their best player is. Juke Harris was wide open on that last possession. You've got to give number 2 the ball in black when he has the opportunity to get any time, especially unguarded.
I love your question when we talk to players all the time. Tell me one thing about you that nobody knows. What was it that Juke was telling us about?
He plays Minecraft all the time.
Oh, and he hits 3 and he's fouled.
He plays Fortnite all the time. 3 times he plays Fortnite before the game. Apparently it paid off.
He wins 1 every time, he says. He just knocked down a 3. He's going to shoot a free throw when we come back. Stay tuned.
August of 2024. He's an NC State fan. And David, you got a chance, man. Will Wade is there now. Championship. North Carolina State. The V Foundation is named after Jim Valvano, the late great coach of the NC State Wolfpack. And he said, if you laugh, if you think, if you cry, that's a heck of a day. Bottom left is Teddy. He makes us laugh. He tells his grandma to clean her ears because she can't hear him. Teddy, man, I want to speak up a little bit to your grandma. Addie makes us cry. You know why? Because David gave her his credit card. Now she's spending the family into debt. Benji on the right, he makes us think. He's the offensive lineman. He's the third baseman. He's the thoughtful cornerstone of this family, and Bridget is the fierce mother bear. And there's David right up top, the dedicated father and husband. And David, I have a special prayer and message for you tonight. We pray for laughter for you, David, during this holiday season. We pray for tears of joy because of the memories that you built together. And we pray for your family to think about how you can appreciate each other and how much we appreciate you. So to the Miller family, your Uncle Bucky, that's me. I'm proud of all of you, and I love you. And David, hear me loud. Never give up. There are thousands and thousands of college basketball fans listening right now, and they all are praying for you to laugh, to think, and to cry for all the right reasons.
So well said, Mark. Those are some of the families and the people that need your support, and it's exactly why we do this at the V Foundation. 100% of your donations go directly to cancer research.
And that's the kicker, Mike. Help. Jim Valvano said, it may not help me, but it might help somebody else someday. Never give up. Jim Valvano.
100%. V.org/donate here at V-Week on ESPN. West Virginia closes the gap to 1. It's 6-5 as we played almost 5 minutes here in this first half. Inside on the miss. Spillers, a whistle, and a foul. We're going the other way. And that's on Harris, Mark. And that's going to be his second, and that is huge.
Yeah, the most improved player in the country and one of the best players in the country. And now Steve Forbes is going to watch 20 points per game sit down on the bench for a large majority of the first half. That is a tough, tough break for Wake Forest against a team that can flat out guard. Now the best scorer for Wake Forest, the bench. Mark that.
That completely changes things here. 15 minutes to go in this first half, and we'll see when they may bring Harris back in. But for right now, he's out, and here is Chance Moore driving and scoring for the Mountaineers, and they have the lead.
Yeah, Chance Moore is so athletic. The transfer from St. Bonaventure, and you know when you get a Mark Schmidt coach player, he's going to be really fundamentally sound and understand how to play the game.
Thursday, 17 points and 6 of 8 from the field. Another foul here. This could be on Jenkins. Amir Jenkins is first.
Yeah, Chance Moore is a guy, he's a runner. He brings energy to this team. At 6'6", 210 pounds, he has a good basketball IQ, and he never goes sideways, Mike. He always goes north-south. He's always in attack mode.
Here's Cal Meese.
Yeah, Cal Meese is a guy that's got to get up and down. He's got to get into the paint.
Three ball that's off by Marcus Marion. Offensive rebound and back to Cal Meese. He misses on three. And three-point shooting not happening right now here for both teams really early on.
But even more important than that, Mike, Wake Forest is not getting second shots. They've been limited to one shot.
The 2 threes that have gone down has been by Juke Harris, but he's out of the game. And now the floating runner by Cal Meese for 2.
Critical for Nate Cal Meese to get into those gaps against a stingy defense, 2-foot jump stop, and make plays. That time the shot, look for him also to distribute in that situation.
Well, he's doing an incredible job with that. He's got 49 assists this season and only 14 turnovers.
Unselfish, high basketball IQ. Nate Cal Meese, number 1 in black. Can't miss him with the face mask.
Lorient up top for Huff. It's a 3. That's no good. And the rebound, Cal Meese. But he got knocked from behind by Huff as he gets it back to Lorient for 3. And Cal Meese on the run here for the Demon Deacons.
The uglier it gets, the better it is for West Virginia. Nice.
Oh, what a feed inside. And that's Cooper Schwieger for the 2.
Yeah, from Makai Mason. He's a big physical wing that can see over smaller defenders at 6'5". Makai Mason with the assist.
Schwieger, the transfer from Valpo. Jenkins. And a wide open look for Chance Moore. Misses on the 3. West Virginia is 0 for 7 from three-point range. And a travel on Lorient.
Watch Cooper Schwieger, number 13. He rolls to the dead space. Look right there. He rolls to the open area and just sits down and waits for the basketball. And Makai Mason, with his head up, can see him. Look, a lot of big guys roll because the offense says to roll to this spot. You got to roll to the open space, and that's what Schwieger did.
All right, so Wake Forest on top 10-7 here, coming up on 12 minutes to play in the first half. Although their top player is out of the game, Mark, here early on. Okay, so far for the
they shared the ball very well, and they're probing those gaps of the West Virginia defense.
Here's Sebastian Akins. Shot clock again, it's down to 5, and then a corner 3 that's off by Mason, and rebounded here by Moore.
A great defensive possession by West Virginia. Wake Forest was content to just pass it along the perimeter.
West Virginia here is 3 of 10 from the field. They go inside. Oh, basket and a foul. And it's put down by Jackson Fields.
Jackson Fields just attacks the rim as hard as he can, takes the contact, finishes at 6'8". He brings intangibles off the bench. He's a guy that had a thumb injury, but has come back to. He's got active body, active hands, and there you saw the pogo feet.
Marcus Marion on the foul. First West Virginia field goal in the last 2 minutes, and we're tied at 10.
If Wake Forest is going to settle for passing the ball around the perimeter, they've got to put the ball on the floor some and get into a gap and force a second defender to pick them up. Otherwise, they will play right into the West Virginia good position defense.
This is where you expect this game to be here right now. We've had 20 total points in 8 minutes.
That's where West Virginia expected it to be. Good 3-ball.
Up and good by Mason.
Mason has had an assist and now a 3-point shot. Really came off shot ready.
All right, so Wake Forest is 3 of 8 from 3-point range, and West Virginia is now 0 for 8. But they get the offensive rebound. Floyd. Jasper Floyd bounces it inside. They go out to the wing, and a wide open Fields for 3. That's no good. Can't seem to get it going from beyond the arc here.
Brennan Lorient is dominating the offensive glass.
And an offensive rebound that time by Thomas. That doesn't go. Another one. This is by Fields. Fouled, and he'll have 2 when we come back. Here in Charleston, West Virginia tonight, you're looking at Light the Night. It's coming your way from the Charleston Dirty Bird Stadium in the Independent League. 3rd year they've done this. 2.5 million lights.
I love the Dirty Birds.
Big 12 on ESPN. In the entryway of the West Virginia practice facility. Perfect transition to one of the all-time greats and leading us into some of your favorite Mountaineers of all time, Mark.
There's my favorite of all time, Jerry West. The logo of the NBA, 1959. They lost to Pete Newell and Cal, 71-70. It was the best West Virginia team in school history. In the NCAA tournament, West averaged 32 points a game, including 28 points and 11 rebounds in the championship game, and won the most outstanding player, even though West Virginia lost that game. Kevin Pittsnoggle and Bob Huggins, as they went to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, one of the great competitors in the history of not just West Virginia, but college basketball. Deshaun Butler, the winningest men's basketball player in the history of West Virginia. I didn't even mention Rod Thorne, Hot Rod Hundley. So players came from Mountaineers.
That's pretty cool. Video credit, by the way, courtesy of Mark Adams. On a nice job that you shot. Also got to give a ton of credit to our producer, Jeff Graham, who has shot a bunch of stuff as well. The lights that we saw from the Dirty Birds.
That's right.
Is that crazy? 2.5 million lights?
That's a lot of lights.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Dirty Birds.
It's a 1-point game here tonight. And we're just getting started. 9 minutes in.
A little full court pressure to change things up from West Virginia.
Here's Makai Mason.
You know, for Wake Forest, it's not necessarily what they run in their half-court sets, is can they get second chance points off the offensive glass. Love the dribble penetration here in the movement. Well done by Wake Forest.
Ballou works his way in, and there's going to be a foul called.
For the offensive activity and aggression from Wake Forest on that possession was winning formula for Steve Forbes. That was active, it was aggressive, it was smart.
third team foul on West Virginia, the first on Trayson Eaglestaff. And here's Ballou, transfer out of Iowa State, second year with Wake Forest, but was dealing with a lot of injuries last year. And defensively, he does a lot of things that are not seen on the stat sheet, can shoot the three, and he's a former 5-star recruit.
Yeah, McDonald's All-American. Right? Yeah. Now he's 100%. He really brings energy to Steve Forbes and the Demon Deacons. Brings defense. He's a physical defender, can guard multiple positions.
You're going to have to keep an eye on this guy as the season progresses, because he's just getting back to form. I know we talk a lot about Juke Harris, who's averaging about 20 points a game, but he's on the bench right now with 2 personal fouls.
Yeah, Ballou, he had 9 points. He was 3 for 4 against Porter Moser in Oklahoma in that losing effort.
10.5 to go here in the first half. Wake Forest by 3. Here's Huff. Mountaineers still looking for their first 3-pointer of the night. Lorient go inside.
Lorient loves this mid-post area right there. Almost coughed it up. Just did cough it up.
We saw him way back first at FAU before he went to North Texas, and now followed Ross Hodge here to West Virginia.
He was part of Dusty May's Final Four team, and Brendan Lorient, number 0 for West Virginia. He likes the ball in the mid-range area. He likes to play with his back to the basket. He's very, very athletic. But credit Wake Forest. They're very well prepared for that mid-post area and attacking Lorient.
And they're doing it with the guy that you just saw there on the bench. That's Juke Harris, who's got 2 personal fouls, has to watch from the sidelines right now. They got Miles Colvin up off the bench. He'll check in at the next whistle. Here's Akins. Wild runner, and he gets it to go.
Sebastian Akins up and under. When he gets in the lane, that's when Wake Forest is good, and they were really good right there.
Double team coming down, and the kick out here to Lorient, and he's in trouble, and it's going to get ripped away by Mason.
Boy, the double team in the post has been deadly for Wake Forest. They've shut down the West Virginia offense completely.
That is now 7 West Virginia turnovers, and Wake Forest capitalizes with Spillers, and Ross Hodge takes a timeout. We will return. 9:31 to go in the first half. Demon Deacons by 7.
So, how do you want to do this?
Wanna buy your way? Uh-huh. Wanna put on real pants? Nuh-uh. Wanna take her for a spin?
Okay.
Wanna pre-qualify at the park?
Getting a little dizzy.
Wanna get that car ASAP? Yeah, you wanna do it your way.
Want to drive? CarMax.
All right, so this is a big stat here, Mark. These numbers here as Wake Forest leads by 7.
Well, listen, this is how Steve Forbes lives. This is how Wake Forest lives. They live off of second chance points, and right there you see turnovers forced and points off turnovers. And they average almost 20 points, over 20 points per game in points off turnovers. Look, those 2 stats combined in the first 8 games of the season for Wake Forest, points off turnovers and second chance points, plus 15.5 points per game for Wake Forest. And so far, they're plus 9 on points off turnovers tonight.
They are. And they're out to the 7-point lead. Coming out of the timeout, what does West Virginia do here?
West Virginia's got to settle down. They've got to take better care of the ball, especially when they get in the post and they see the double team coming from Wake Forest. They've got to make quicker decisions. There's the double team right there. See the extra bounce? That doesn't help you.
That's not high percentage. Huff airballing a 3. There's a foul on the rebound, though. I think they're going to get bailed out as the Demon Deacons are called for the ticket, and it's Ballou that picks up his second.
West Virginia now knows that Wake Forest is going to double down on the post and even in the mid-post. Every time a post man turns his back, there's going to be another black jersey that comes right to him. You need AI decisions down there. You got to make them quick.
Are you proficient with that yet? Are you using that a lot?
I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting pretty good with all that stuff. I won't say which one. I don't want to give away all my secrets here.
Moore gets it taken away. And on the run, no, but a foul, as that is Colvin. And he heads to the line here.
But, Mike, see how turnovers and bad shots lead to breakouts with black jerseys. And this team really knows how to transition from defense to offense, and there you saw it. Colvin has played so well over the last 5 games. Double-digit scorer for this team. Catch-and-shoot guy, really athletic, understands how to play his role. And right there, we saw him in the open court just jet to the rim.
That was one of the points of emphasis that you're going to be watching tonight, right? Defensive transitioning.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no defensive transition for a turnover. You're dead.
Yeah.
And right now, Wake Forest is taking advantage of every full-court opportunity they've had. Watch the black jerseys. If it enters in the paint to a gold jersey, watch the second black jersey come for the double.
Mason picks up the foul. When we talked to Ross Hodge about this season so far and his team that, comes in doing pretty well, they had a loss to Clemson by 3 and a loss to Xavier by 10. He said that game was one that he thought ahead of time, we got to look out for this one because they were able to stretch the floor with 4s and 5s that were shooting 3-pointers and stuff like that. What about in a game like this where this team wants to go up and down the floor? And what happens if you get down big early? Now what for a team that kind of packs it in?
You've got to dig in deeper on this end. And right now, there's the deeper right there as the official makes the call, and Ross Hodge doesn't like it. And he could challenge it if he wants to.
And he is going to do that. All right, so here it is again.
Looked like he got it before the ball got to the backboard. It looked like the ball was on an upward trajectory in real time. That might have hit the backboard first. Let's look at it again. See if it hits the backboard first.
Now,
can't tell from that angle.
You have to have a call on the court first, and they did. They called it a goaltend. And Ross Hodge wants to challenge it. So a coach's challenge.
Yep.
You've got to have a timeout to be able to do that, which he obviously does. And we're going to take a break and come back and find out what the decision is. Whether he gets it right or whether he's going to lose his timeout. We'll find out. 8:29 to go first half. 21-12 Wake Forest. The last play was called a goaltend on the court, and Ross Hodge and West Virginia challenged that call here, Mark, and here it is.
Yeah, it's Brennan Lorient, number 0 in gold, that comes across and challenges the shot, blocks the shot, but you can see right there the ball hit the backboard first. Therefore, the call stands as goaltending right there. As you can see, the ball hits the backboard. And so what are the ramifications of that? Ross Hodge now lost the challenge, so he won't get another challenge, and he loses a timeout. And so, Mike, as a head coach or any coach, if you're so emotionally invested in a call in a game, I don't think you make the challenge until you have a designated assistant coach who advises you to challenge, versus you make that emotional decision immediately. Because right now, Ross Hodge lost the timeout, and he lost a challenge for later in the game.
Correct. He's out of challenges for the rest of the game, and he had already called a timeout earlier when Wake Forest is on a run. So now he's down to 2 timeouts left for the rest of the game. And that's, of course, a bang-bang play. And emotions, of course, come out. But that's how good I would say these officials are. I mean, they made the call in real time, and they were right. As soon as it hit the you can't touch it, and they did, and the goaltend was upheld.
I think all teams are working through managing the challenge rule. And what is the timing of it, and what is the process of it? As you see, again, the offensive glass work by West Virginia, but nothing comes of it. Because you've got to make a smart and calculated decision versus an emotional decision in the moment. And I think that's where management, process, timing all come into that decision.
That's a great point, Mark. You think about it, it's still very early in the first half.
Yep.
You lost a timeout, and you're out of challenges for the rest of the game. Could be a factor. Lorient inside, and he is fouled, and he'll head to the line here.
Mike, early on, I've been impressed with the physicality and toughness of Wake Forest interior defense. Against Oklahoma, they were not as physical as they are tonight.
2 shots for Lorient here. It's a huge day in sports today. What about tomorrow? We've got more men's basketball coming your way in Missouri and Kansas. This rivalry going back a long, long time. That's at 1 o'clock right here on the Deuce. And then Georgetown and North Carolina at 5 o'clock. That's tomorrow on ESPN.
Yeah, the border war. Remember, Missouri won the border war last year that gave Dennis Gates a signature win last season. Missouri's Mark Mitchell at 6'9", a senior, over 18 points a game. And he's a Kansas City kid. You think this game means a little bit to him?
Now, Kansas hoping to get back freshman phenom Darren Peterson, too. Had that hamstring strain.
Yeah, I hope he gets back in the lineup.
Yep. More on that rivalry here. I mean, look at this. 273rd meeting between Missouri and Kansas coming up.
Can you tell we have some Kansas City guys in the truck today?
Certainly do.
We talk about this game the whole second half, ladies and gentlemen.
Crew's doing a great job as always tonight. Jeff Graham, our producer, Kevin Shank, our director.
Great wingspan defense.
There we go. Calmise hands it off for Colvin.
I like the way Calmise runs the offense. He probed. Well done by Calmise.
Nice catch. Schwieger for three. It's no good. Offensive rebound. Spillers stays with it and takes it right in and puts it in.
Trayvon Spillers just never gave up on that play. He is the heartbeat of this team. And there you saw the extra effort on the offensive glass and never gave up on the play.
Super high motor. He's second on the team in scoring behind Juke Harris, who, by the way, is still out of this game with 2 personal fouls.
Yeah.
And he went out at the 15-minute mark, and Wake Forest leads by 8.
It's amazing what Wake Forest has done without a 20-point score per game.
Another miss from three-point range. Lorient 0 for 11 now from 3 for West Virginia.
Now, Wake Forest has been the physically tougher team. They've been the grittiest team in this game in the first half.
Once again, Spiller, same thing. Mark a little farther out, doesn't go. And a fight for the offensive rebound again. Colvin. Yes. Heads up.
That's a 60-40 ball that should have gone to West Virginia, that somehow, someway, Miles Colvin comes up with. That is a want-to thing, and Wake Forest simply wants it more.
West Virginia has 11 offensive rebounds, 5 for Wake Forest, but it's about converting. And the Demon Deacons are the one that are doing that. Up by 10, they lose the handle here. As Huff lost it ahead of the pack here for Spillers.
Trayvon Spillers was a high school wide receiver that was recruited at the Division I level. I think that kid could play football right now.
My goodness, you think Wake Forest had a bad taste in their mouths from that loss to Oklahoma 4 days ago?
They've come out here with a different attitude. I watched that game over and over again against Oklahoma. This team has fire in their belly today.
Oh, nice runner there. Nice runner there by Lorient. West Virginia needed something to back down to a 10-point game. West Virginia's got 10 turnovers, and Wake Forest has 13 points off of those 10 turnovers thus far.
That's how they win.
That one clanged off the rim by Spillers, and here come the Mountaineers with Huff for 3. Finally, the first of the night.
The #1 three-point man by volume for the Chattanooga Mocs. 1 year ago, 131 made. And here comes Charleston, West Virginia.
It's a steal with Jenkins. Back to Huff for 2 in a row. Well, that changed fast. We'll be back.
Honor Huff of West Virginia. He is electric. He is an elite shooter. He worked with his dad, who would not let him shoot threes until he was strong enough as a kid. It frustrated him. But his dad gave him the confidence, when you're strong enough, let it fly. And Ross Hodge believes in him. Your Honor. Your Honor. 2 in a row.
Great stuff, Mark, to the tune of an 8-0 run here for West Virginia as they're right back in it. And a steal. No way. That's off that time, off the rim to the right.
You know what?
Almost.
I'm letting him shoot it whenever he wants to. He's earned the right. Ross Hodge didn't even flinch.
The relationship that Hodge has with Huff and his players, they want to come play for him. That's what Honor Huff told us. He had an incredible career at Chattanooga, capped off with the NIT championship. And a great move for him now to be here in Mountaineer land, as it's a 4-point game.
Football when we see
football. Is there a football season going on?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Yeah, there's a few things going on today, to say the least. And there's a lot of coaches here, too. We'll get back to Kevin Connor, Seth Greenberg, Kevin Keats in the studio at halftime. I'm here with Coach Mark Adams from Charleston, West Virginia. What a game here now as the Mountaineers have closed the gap. 8-0 run in the last 125.
Well, because of Honor Huff. And guess who's back in the game? Juke Harris right there gets the first shot coming off the bench. Got to be really careful about using him now. And you think Ross Hodge doesn't see it? You think that West Virginia is going to try to isolate him and attack him right now? I'd go right at number 2 in black, except he's coming out of the game right now. He came in for one possession.
Yeah, there's your offensive defensive substitution early.
There are a lot of good things going on. How about Iowa State hammering number 1 Purdue today? The Cyclones were 11 for 23 from the 3-point line. Big win for the Big 12 over the number 1 team in the country.
That was very surprising. Purdue. Yeah, very, very surprising, that score. Here's Huff, relocates for 3. It's good. He's hit 3 of his last 4.
Sizzling.
Oh, the block inside. Fields. And West Virginia can take the lead. Floyd, and that's blocked the other way. It's Spillers and company inside, but they get it back. And now it's blocked by Colvin, and Wake Forest with Akins. Count it.
We're a little chaos here in Charleston, West Virginia. Balls flying around like crazy.
Well, that's what it's all about in this state, right? Blue collar, hard working here. You're seeing it tonight in this game.
Yeah, the score is indicative of West Virginia's pace right now. But give a lot of credit to Wake Forest. They have played with a lot of grit. Huff again, and he's fouled.
Well, they have to respect his ability now from the 3-point line and getting a little bit too close there and getting him on the arm. And Sebastian Akins, who picks up the foul, and Honor Huff can tie this thing at the free throw line.
Boy, Honor Huff knows how to read defenses. Why? This kid was a college-level reader in middle school. He is a really smart young man, high basketball IQ. And I love the fact that his dad worked him out, never let him shoot a 3 until he was strong enough to shoot a 3. His dad legally changed his name to Live Endless. How about that for an attitude? Live Endless.
That's pretty good. 24th annual Women's Jimmy V Classic coming your way. We're talking about these teams. How about on the women's side? Number 12, Iowa, and number 10, Iowa State on Wednesday at 7 o'clock on ESPN.
In-state rivalry, 2 teams with gaudy records, Iowa and Iowa State. Last year, that game was won by Iowa 75-69. Iowa State wants revenge at home.
And we are tied at 29 here.
And Wake Forest has played better for a large majority of this half, but the last 5 minutes it's been all energy from West Virginia.
It's a 14-2 run for West Virginia in the last 2:40 and ticking. Tough one by Harris.
One shot.
Huff keeps it in.
Watch for number 3 in gold. He's the focal point. Yeah, he's hot. Give him the ball.
Floyd for Thomas.
Huff was open.
Bounces it inside, and a block by Spillers on the offering that time by Ugasuk.
And Huff was wide open. Defender left him. West Virginia didn't recognize it.
So they take Harris out again, Mark, trying to preserve his time to not pick up that 3rd personal foul here in the first half.
Here comes Huff.
From NBA range, and that one rims out, and it's tracked down by Fields, as many of these misses have been tonight by West Virginia. That is now their 14th offensive rebound in this game. Huff again, another relocation. And he's missed the last couple. Rebound by Spillers.
Yeah, but keep shooting. That's my advice.
Yep. Well,
now,
Huff has got 12 points.
Can they settle down? Can they get into gaps? When they're in attack mode, they're good. They settle for the jump shot there. Great block off.
Excellent by the freshman DJ Thomas. Mark Huff is 3 of 10. All his shots have come from three-point range. He's got 12 points to lead all scorers in this game.
Yeah, and you know what I say, keep shooting it, son.
Number 3 in gold. Where is he? He's got it.
And Wake Forest putting big defenders on him all the time.
Here's Floyd for 3. That's good. First lead for the Mountaineers. It was 7-6, and it's pretty short-lived. Yeah. Schwieger knocks down a 3 on the other side.
Schwieger's hit two big threes in this half. He understands his role. He's a shot-ready big guy.
He's got 5 points. No one has more than 6 for Wake. And scoring outside, easy 2 by Thomas.
Complete and total defensive breakdown by Wake.
Spillers the other way. This game.
You know, it's the fastest slow game I've ever called.
Exactly. Final 5 seconds. Floyd, Jasper Floyd, and a whistle and jump ball is called. They call a tie-up here, and it's going to be Wake Forest possession, Mark, with 1.3 remaining.
Yeah, watch for Spillers here. Number 25 in black. Watch for Spillers to the rim. I'm a little surprised Juke Harris doesn't come in for this possession. Watch for the long pass to Spillers, number 25. There it is.
Throws it in. And you call this Spillers, and he makes the pass. And a 3 is up, and it's good by Cal Meese. Let's see if they count it. They said no, but they're going to go look at it. Wow.
Yeah, this is a set play by Wake Forest. Spillers is the best athlete with the longest wingspan, and it's the old Homer Drew play for Valpo that knocked off Ole Miss to Bryce Drew. Same type of play as Steve Forbes gets into his bag of tricks, and now the officials are reviewing it.
Yeah, no basket. It was still in his hands, and they had it right from the get-go. Great idea, but they needed about another 0.2 seconds to execute that. I mean, it was perfectly executed, actually, just not enough time. And I believe we were going to be in a 34-34 game here at halftime. Geez, we thought this was going to be a pretty nip and tuck, evenly matched game, and we got just that.
Yeah, expect more of the same in the second half. We might be going overtime tonight. It might be a longer drive home tonight, Michael.
Well, we'll see. Let's get this official call first. It was no basket. I mean, it clearly looked like it was still in his hands when the clock was at zeros.
But the officials are making sure they get it right. This is a possession-by-possession game.
Yeah,
no basket.
Yep. Okay.
No basket.
34 all here at the half. We've reached the break. This is a fun one here tonight. Great day in sports. Let's go to the studio. Kevin Connors, Seth Greenberg, and Kevin Keats. Guys, it's all you.
Mike, 12 for us.
Demon Deacons as we get set to start the second half. Mike Corey, Mark Adams with you here tonight on this Saturday night. Big day in college sports, and let's get to our first half stats, which are brought to you by Liberty Mutual. Mark.
Take a look at the bottom stat at ball control. 12 West Virginia turnovers that led to 15 Wake Forest points. Remember when we opened up, we talked about manufactured, unscripted points from Wake Forest, where they have outscored their opponents in the first 8 games of the season in second chance points and points off turnovers by 15 points a game. Right now, in that stat category, it's 19-12 in favor of Wake Forest. It's all about ball control and one shot for West Virginia. It's all about second shots and points off turnovers for Wake Forest.
Top scorer for the Mountaineers in this game is Honor Huff. He's got 12 points on 3 of 10 from three-point range, 3 of 3 at the foul line. And on the other side, the top scorer is Spillers for Wake Forest with 8.
Trayvon Spillers was huge, especially because Juke Harris was out of the game in foul trouble. Now number 2 is back in, and what does West Virginia do? What a shot. They pounded inside to Obioha.
Mountaineers by 2 to start this second half. I thought Wake Forest having, Juke Harris on the bench for most of that first half, their top scorer. They did a good job to weather the storm as Ballou knocks down a 3, and they're back in front.
Yeah, Omaha, Ballou, the energy giver, gives some energy early in this half.
Harrison only played 7 minutes in that first frame mark. He had 6 points.
And there's that double team. Let's see if West Virginia handles it better. They do.
Lorient is fouled.
The chess game begins. Now, West Virginia knows that Wake Forest is going to send a second defender toward their post guy, either Lorient or Obioha, whenever he catches the basketball in that mix. They're moving away from the basket. They're creating a passing angle and dragging another defender with them.
Colvin was called for the foul for Wake Forest. Falling down is Obioha, and he loses it. And here comes Colvin the other way, and he is fouled. And Jasper Floyd got him.
Yeah, Obioha tried to do too much on one end, and Wake Forest was more than happy to make him pay on the opposite end.
This game being played in Charleston, West Virginia here tonight, 2.5 hours away from Morgantown, where West Virginia here in Charleston, by the way, 74-22 all time. But the last time they played here in Charleston, 2016.
Well, these fans, look, they appreciate this. This arena is filled tonight. It's been interesting, Mike, to watch Steve Forbes and how successful he has been at Wake Forest. Look, this is a guy in junior college at Northwest Florida that went 62-6. 62-6. Goes to Wake Forest. They finished in the top half and finished in 4th place in the ACC last year. They've had back-to-back 13-win seasons at Wake Forest. Not exactly the blue blood of Duke or North Carolina. Steve Forbes has done an amazing job at Wake Forest.
No, they have. I mean,
that school's no joke, too, by the way.
No, it's not. We were looking at some of the numbers earlier, and we talked to them about this. As this ball is knocked away here, Demon Deacons have it. Cal Meese on the play. They are 3rd over the last 5 years. They're 3rd in the ACC in non-conference wins. They're 4th in the ACC in overall wins. And they're tied for 4th in the nation in home wins. That's Wake Forest and what they've done under Steve Forbes.
Yeah, and you thought the world was ending because Oklahoma won at Wake Forest the other night. You thought the walls were crumbling down around Wake Forest. Look, this guy has done an unbelievable job at Wake Forest. Once upon a time, this basketball program was not relevant. It's very relevant under Steve Forbes.
Harris, step back 3, knocks it down. Wow, that looked good.
Yeah, wow is the right term. NBA, remember Juke Harris. Most improved player in America, number 2 in black.
Sophomore. Lorient. Blocked there by Spillers, who's had a really nice game, and Lorient touched it last out of bounds. Wake Forest ball. He loves it.
Juke Harris. He was due to be born on August 6th, but instead he decided to come around on July 22nd. His mother said it was the most easy delivery of her life and said he juked right out of me. That's how I got his name, Juke.
That's how he got the name,
That's how I got the
He's out here. I'm ready to go.
Fake left, go right. Here we go. Let's play. Juke Harris.
Came right out and onto the basketball court.
There you go.
It's a 3-pointer. That's no good by Cal Meese. And rebounded by Obioha. This is a fun one here tonight.
It's been sitting next to you. It's always a blast. We're right around Christmas time.
Same here.
Nothing better, man. Nothing better. The Big 12 against the ACC. How blessed are we to do this game?
No doubt. This is a fun one. 42-36. Here's Huff for 3. And over the top. Out of play. 4 of 19 now for West Virginia from 3-point range. 3 of those 4 have been hit by Huff. He's also missed 11 of the 19, or taken 11 of the 19, I should say.
Ross Hodge going a little full court pressure here. He wants to get some of those positive juices flowing like we saw the last 7 minutes of the first half. Jasper Floyd trying to get it going with the tip right there.
Largest lead for Wake Forest tonight has been 12 at 27-15.
Jasper Floyd, the transfer from North Texas, came with Ross Hodge from North Texas. We had such a successful run Jasper Floyd, the real leader of this team, number 1 in goal, defending the ball right now.
Yeah, Floyd and Lorient, both from North Texas with Hodge. Once again, same spot, same result. Juke Harris. Timeout.
Brennan Lorient gets caught off the screen, and Juke Harris understands how to play this game. Wake Forest on a 12-0 run. Why? Juke Harris, NBA.
Welcome back to Charleston, West Virginia, as you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN and looking at Reindeers in the outfield, the Dirty Birds here in Charleston.
Mike, you know why they call the Charleston minor league baseball team the Dirty Birds?
No.
They're named after the canaries they used in the West Virginia coal mines to detect dangerous gases, honoring their dirty job while risking their lives to keep the miners safe.
Is that from AI?
How about it?
It's actually Gomart Ballpark, or one of our sponsors here tonight that you just saw, but pretty cool. I mean,
do you think the Birds actually had a choice in deciding they were going to save lives? Just asking, don't need to answer.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I love
cool.
it. I love it.
Back in Charleston here for this matchup, and it's been an 11-0 run over the last 3 minutes for Wake Forest, prompting the timeout by West Virginia. They've only got one timeout left for the rest of the game. Down by 9. Here's Huff. Floating runner. No, and rebounded by Harris.
Now, they're more than happy to run Huff off the line and make him shoot a contested 2. Or Wake Forest now, with Juke Harris in the game, it's another great offensive threat that West Virginia has to extend defensively to guard.
They're in the
Two
midst.
and black is hard to guard.
They're in the midst of their largest run of the game here, 11-0 run. They get 13-0 on the throwdown by Spillers.
Yeah, Nate Calmese gets downhill, number 1 in black. Just went around the defense, went right to the rim, drew the defender, and Trayvon Spillers is athletic.
He's got 10 points, 2 behind his teammate Harris for the team high. Back inside DJ Thomas, and that runner's good. Well, we talked about this stat mark and how big it is. Points off turnovers tonight, 20-6 in favor of Wake Forest.
That's how Wake Forest wins.
Harris misses on the 3, a little short, but tipped around, and Spillers has been all over the place tonight. Grabs the rebound.
Well, and Omaha Ballou went right over the back for that, got his fingertips on it. Okay, the wingspan of the bigs for Wake Forest is underrated. These guys can defend, they can get deflections.
Spillers misses on the 3. There's a foul on the rebound, and it's going to be on Huff, who kind of backed his way into Colvin that time for Wake Forest. We get a timeout.
Trayvon Spillers, be ready. Flush it, big fella. The heartbeat of Wake Forest, Trayvon Spillers.
Holiday Hoop Fest continues. There you go, here in Charleston, West Virginia, presented by CharlestonWV.com. I'd like to welcome all those of you coming over from the Georgia-Alabama game.
Absolutely,
which is
closing our way, I know that.
Closing down, and you know, we were talking about this earlier. The college football playoff, I mean, it's just all going to shake itself out, right? You know, we're all going to figure out. Today's a big day for that.
Yeah, it's going to shake itself out like a hairy, mangy dog. I want James Madison and Tulane. I want them both in the college football playoffs.
We got to get you on the committee.
Duke in the ACC championship game. It's all going to shake out, Mike.
Okay.
Against Virginia tonight.
Back to basketball, and inside it's Miles Colvin that scores for Wake Forest. And 5 minutes into this second half, they have extended the advantage now, 49-38.
Yeah, Miles Colvin and Trayvon Spillers, who, by the way, played wide receiver in high school. Speaking of football,
yeah,
he has been that wide receiver, and he's received a lot of great passes, number 25 in black. He's been the story of this game. We came and talked about Juke Harris. He's really, really good. But Trayvon Spillers, the Robin to the Batman, has been the best player on the court tonight.
Spillers has got 8 points, 4 rebounds as well. But he's done all those little things in this game tonight and come up with really timely plays. And
block shots.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. Tomorrow we've got the exclusive reveal of the final college football playoff 25 rankings, by the way. That's coming your way on Sunday at noon. And Reese and the guys will break it all down, top to bottom, unveil the matchups for the 12-team playoff. It all starts tomorrow at noon, 9 a.m. Pacific, after Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN.
Go James Madison.
We'll see.
Not a lot of response to that. I heard crickets.
It's not crickets in here tonight. It's been a lively crowd of over 10,000.
And they're getting a little restless right now. They're trying to pick this team up. West Virginia made a great run at the end of the first half, but it's been all Wake Forest here to start the second half.
Spillers bounces it here for Harris, takes it in, takes a lot of contact, and no call, ball knocked out of bounds, and it's going to West Virginia.
Gold jerseys, clubs. Look, he gains a lot. There's a lot of contact right there. There's a ton of contact right there, and that is a foul that was uncalled.
Yeah, I can understand. I think initially you thought he might have went straight up there, but then came crashing down.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah, he was in his cylinder until both arms came down and just destroyed the shooter and Juke Harris. Been a well-officiated game tonight.
Yep.
That was a bad call.
Yep. Here's Huff over to Jenkins. And Jenkins was getting pushed there in the back, and they got the foul there on Isaac Carr, the freshman who was in for like a couple of seconds earlier in the first half to throw that length of the floor pass at the end of the half, and now he's back in here.
Well, and Amir Jenkins, number 2 in gold for West Virginia. Look, every time he gets contact, that flowing hair just rotates backward violently, and right there we got an illegal screen, looks like.
Yeah, speaking of that, the emphatic call, too, as well as Lorient picks up the ticket for West Virginia. But I'll tell you what, I give Juke Harris a lot of credit on that last play. What did he do, Mark? He just got right back up and went down the other end of the court.
Never said a word.
Right.
And scouts see that.
Yeah, correct.
They see who's coachable, who's energetic, who's mature, and Juke Harris fills all of those boxes.
He does. Spillers misses the runner. Rebound by Eaglestaff.
Yeah, I like Juke Harris a lot. I think he's definitely an NBA.
Nice time earlier today and shoot around. Now here's a steal. Oh, Cal Meese to keep it in. And Harris's pass is knocked out by Huff. But that was a heck of a play there by number 1, Nate Cal Meese.
Yeah, Nate Cal Meese, he's been the conductor of this basketball team. Look, he needs to get in the lane for Wake Forest to be really good. And he's gotten in the lane all week long with that broken nose. He just had surgery on it last week. I think it was on Wednesday. And that's a form-fitting mask that he's worn for the last couple of games. But he's fearless. He gets in the lane, he just makes plays.
Washington State transfer. Here's Schwieger. Looking for the cutter, not there. Back to Harris. Throws himself in the hoop and he scores it and he's fouled. How about that? Powerful move by the future NBA talent.
Yeah, this is a guy that worked twice a day, every day. Morning for hours, lifting in the afternoon, hours in the evening, time and time again, and that's where he gained his confidence through his hard work.
You and I, when we talk to these players, you always ask that question, tell us something about you that nobody knows. We talked about that earlier. I always ask about, hey, what do you want to do, or what do you like to do outside of basketball, hobbies, interests, and he was like, man, my life revolves around basketball. And he told us everything he's doing to try to get to that next level.
Someday he wants to open up a car dealership. He's got a pretty nice 2025 Mercedes. I asked if I could drive it. He gave me permission. Next time.
Yep. That's his thing after basketball. Jenkins. Oh, nice little up fake there. Puts it up off to the right, though, and the rebound pulled in by Harris.
Harris starting to exert his will on this game. Let's see if they get him a touch right now.
5 rebounds for Harris to go along with 12 points and a foul here on West Virginia.
Mike, Steve Forbes was really disappointed with the Wake Forest effort against Oklahoma. Before he got to the locker room, guess who took care of that locker room and the messaging of the lack of effort? It was Juke Harris. This guy is the leader of this basketball team, and he knew when to step up because their effort was, now give Oklahoma and Porter Moser a lot of credit, but Steve Forbes said, I was disappointed how we played, but he talked about the next game, the next day, because Juke Harris time in the locker room. That's leadership.
Updating his numbers, he's got 15 points here, 9 in the second half. Remember, he had those 2 personal fouls early that he got in the first 5 minutes of the game, and that was kind of put in sporadically in the first half to get him some opportunities, but not enough to try to pick up that third personal foul. Let's see what West Virginia does here on offense now, down by 12. Oh, nice play there inside, but sticking with it is Chance Moore after he was blocked initially by Ballou.
Yeah, this team needs a lot more of a physical Chance Moore here in the second half to make a run. Now a 10-point lead for Wake Forest.
Here's Ballou. Harris 15 and 5 here tonight.
This is a luxury late shot clock. You can give it to what's going to be your All-American, All-ACC guy,
Carr.
Juke Harris.
Corner Schwieger, 4 to shoot. Schwieger up and under, but too strong. And fights to get it back. It's going to be a jump, and it's going to stay with Wake Forest when we come back. Half, Mike Corey, Mark Adams. We talked about Steve Forbes, and not just a basketball coach, Mark. I mean, what about what this guy has done throughout his career?
Yeah, he played college baseball at Southern Arkansas University, the Mule Riders, where he was a pitcher. He still remembers the home run he gave up in the Small College World Series. But he ended up, having a good competitive pitching career. He was a sports information director for a year at Southern Arkansas. A baseball coach. And then finds his way into basketball finally, full-time. Was an assistant at Wichita State with Greg Marshall during those great years with Fred Van Vliet and Ron Baker and those guys. At Northwest Florida Junior College, he ends up going 62-6 there. He goes to East Tennessee State, builds that into a championship-level program in the Southern Conference, and then finds his way to Wake Forest, where he's had just tremendous success. What a coach Steve Forbes is.
Well, and this could be a real special year for this team as well, too. You got a guy like Harris who's been playing solid and now has it here as he puts it up and is fouled. Up by 10. They're 6-3 on the season. And teams or people say to him, it's like, hey, you're a couple points away from, only having one loss. Well, we're also a couple points away from the other way. You got to finish those games off, and they've been right in it this year except for one game.
Yeah, they lost to Michigan by 1 in overtime, 85-84, and Michigan is uber talented. They end up losing to Texas Tech. Grant McCaslin, who was the old boss for Ross Hodge, 84-83. They beat Memphis on a last-second shot, and then they lost to Oklahoma. And that one wasn't close, and they weren't happy about it. Now they're playing very well tonight.
Foul was on Fields for West Virginia. That's a 12-point lead here for Wake Forest. It ties their largest lead of the night. Their largest run has been 13-0. West Virginia's been on an 11-0 run at one point this game as well. That got them back into it. So they're capable again.
Yep.
And they're going to have to get on one of those runs here now at 10:46 to go.
Leader of the energy level of both teams throughout this game. Wake Forest has been the energy giver 70% of this game. They have brought energy consistently for at least 70% of this game. They've dictated play.
They have second foul on Mason, by the way, for Wake Forest. Here goes Moore. Chance Moore on the runner. And he was fouled.
So now we're seeing a lot more whistles, and we're also seeing guys take it to the rim harder. And every time the clock can stop when you're down 12, that's good news for West Virginia.
The foul was on Spiller's mark, and that was his first foul of the night. So, I mean, it just shows you, again, what number 25 has done for Wake Forest within the framework of the team and the offense and the defense. I mean, that's his first foul. He's got 10 points, 4 boards. He's really affected this game here tonight.
Yeah, and defensively, he's got some blocked shots as well.
Right.
But Chance Moore, the transfer from St. Bonaventure, he has shown ability to get hot and get rolling and score in bunches. That's what West Virginia needs to buckle down here, get some turnovers, get in the open court a little bit, and get some easy baskets, get some energy.
Speaking of energy, trying to get this crowd involved again here tonight as well. That was deflected.
West Virginia, look, they play defense the way where you have to have offensive patience. And I think Wake Forest has had good offensive patience, and now they've got a go-to guy like Juke Harris.
That's a great defensive set for the Mountaineers.
Great defense.
And Moore on the drive is fouled. That's West Virginia ball right there, right?
Yep.
You clamp down defensively, and then you essentially got a shot clock violation as that one was clanged off the backboard, and then you go down the other way and you make this happen.
That's how West Virginia wins, and Chance Moore is starting to feel the energy return to the guys in gold right now. He's leading the way by attacking the basket.
All right, tomorrow, our featured men's college basketball matchups. We're going to get things started 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central. That's on ESPN2. The rivalry of Missouri and Kansas. And then Georgetown and North Carolina comes your way at 5 on ESPN.
Georgetown versus North Carolina, maybe the most historic game in NCAA history, as Michael Jordan in the Superdome in 1982 hit the jump shot to beat Patrick Ewing's Georgetown and John Thompson's Georgetown team, with Dean Smith at the helm for the Tar Heels. A rematch of that game.
9-point game. Akins, shot clock again, down to 4. Akins, he puts up the 3, but he got a good look and he missed it, and an offensive rebound by Mason.
Boy, that is a will breaker right there. West Virginia selling out every half-court defensive possession.
Alley-oop time, Spillers on the feed from Akins.
It all started with the offensive rebound. Perfect defense by West Virginia, but they couldn't block off. They weren't tough enough to limit Wake Forest to 1 shot.
That's probably going to be one for the film room, right, Mark, with Ross Hodge. It's like, guys, we played such all the way up to the end of the shot clock, and then we didn't get the rebound. And speaking of rebounds, it's Moore, and he is not going to be denied on that one.
Yeah, Chance Moore is saying, jump on my shoulders. I will carry you to the promised land. Number 13 bringing it here in the second half.
2 subs set to check in for Wake Forest at the next whistle. Moore's got 11 points. We're coming up on 8.5 to play in the game. It's still a 9-point lead for the Demon Deacons. Harris, how do you stop that?
Finish. Well, you talk about the work in the weight room he did. Look, he has changed his body, and he has more growth to come. That is a hell of a finish.
Harris with 6 points in the first half, 13 in this second half, and they continue to keep West Virginia at bay.
West Virginia plays great defense, gives up the offensive rebound. They become ball-centric, and Spillers goes right to the rim. And then Juke Harris, look at the bump right here. That is strength, that is athleticism, that is talent. Juke Harris.
Incredible game, and he's right at his average, and you can see how he averages 19 points a game. He's got 19 tonight.
And he sat down on the bench for a large majority of the first half.
Yeah, he only played 7 minutes.
He'd have 30 right now if he played during that part of the game.
Yeah, played 7 minutes of the first half. This is a big stat here with the rebounding advantage, Mark. Offensive boards, 16-10 in West Virginia's favor, but they haven't been able to convert as much. Defensive rebounds, 17-7. It's not
equating into offense for sure.
Yeah.
And I really like what Nate Calmes has done in conducting this offense and getting the ball to Spillers, getting the ball to Harris. Bad pass right there, turnover, opportunity for West Virginia.
25 points for Wake Forest off turnovers tonight, and they've got an 11-point lead. 8 minutes left. Welcome back to Charleston, West Virginia here tonight. Holiday Hoop Fest. Snowman, his first 2 of the night.
He's got game.
Throwing it down.
A couple guys from Wake Forest got game too. Juke Harris got game. Trayvon Spillers got game. Look, when Batman and Robin show up, and in the first half, Batman had to sit down. Then Juke Harris. And Trayvon Spillers came up big. And now in the second half, Batman shows back up. He's got 19 points, which is on his season average. He only averaged just under 6 points a game a year ago. He's improved his scoring by almost 14 points a game over last year.
Yeah, very efficient with those 2, to say the least. Wake Forest shooting 48% from the field in this game. West Virginia 37%. Mountaineers have it. Down 11. Here's Huff. Got it.
Huff got him going in the first half, remember, with those back-to-back threes. Can he heat it up again? He's got some microwave in his game.
He's got 14. Crowd trying to get into it. On the drive and the kick. Here's Harris again. Got free for 3, and he nails it.
Every team needs a sit-down and shut-up guy. When the crowd's starting to get into it a little bit, and Juke Harris is that guy that'll make those shots on the road and tell everybody, just sit down right now. I've got this under control. Number 2 in black is special.
Number 2 in gold, got to keep an eye on him. He's got 4 personal fouls. That's Amir Jenkins. Back to Huff. Long 3. Wow! Wow!
Here we go. But now this defense has to make a stand. Wake Forest, their spacing has been exceptional. They have spread this gold jerseys out. They've beaten them off the dribble and made them chase the ball instead of meeting the ball. Can they do it again?
5 threes tonight. 4 of them belong to Huff, who gets the ball to steal.
Big possession right here.
Floyd, almost a travel. Here's Moore, and he's fouled. And it's Spillers that gets called for it.
Oh, the flow of this game. Look, gold jerseys have to chase the ball, and Juke Harris is shot ready on that play as the crowd was starting to get into it. And Honor Huff, we've seen the microwave of his game. He just knocked down a 2. Now he bangs a 3. Gets the crowd going in it. Now Chance Moore at the line for 2. Can cut this thing.
Huff is 4 of 12 from three-point range. The rest of the team is 1 for 8. And they need all they can get here at the line. 15 of 21 now at the stripe. 5 of 8 in the second half.
You know, Mike, I think at halftime, Steve Forbes really emphasized, look, you got to spread these guys out. We have to have shooters ready to shoot. We've got to have ball handlers ready to get into creases. And I think Wake Forest done a really good job of that, of spreading and making West Virginia chase them. Crowd rises again.
This is Cal Meese, bounces it for Spillers. 6 minutes to go in the game. Both teams 3 for their last 3. On the runner, Colvin, no. Offensive board, Ballou. Couldn't get it to go, and there is a shot clock violation.
Normally, when West Virginia has a big possession, they like Lorient, number 0 on gold, to get the ball in the medium post and go one-on-one. They also like Chance Moore attacking the rim. There's Moore.
Lorient's down there as well. Moore takes it in, as you called it, Mark, and it's knocked out of bounds. Still West Virginia possession.
Yeah, those 2 bigs, Lorient and Moore, both like to catch the ball at the elbow. They both like to attack off the dribble. And the positive derivative of that is that you get to the free throw line.
It's in Huff, guarded by Harris. How about this right now? Oh! Hang on tight, everyone. Cal Meese up top for Colvin. He got it stolen for the moment by Huff, but he got it back. Now here's Harris for 3. That's in and out. Offensive rebound, Cal Meese. Timeout. Wake Forest. And this has been intense here tonight.
Honor Huff is 5'10". Juke Harris is 6'7". This should not happen. Because Juke Harris backs off just a little bit. That guy had an inch to get it off and got it off and buried it. Honor Huff.
I was going to say, what back off? He had his hand right in his face.
But
that
just
was crazy.
Enough.
Yeah. He's a fun guy to watch. Got to follow his run through the NIT championship last year with Chattanooga. And now here tonight, trying to will West Virginia back, as he's got 20 points, and it's been the three-pointer, the timely threes by Huff, that's energized the crowd and has tried to get West Virginia back into it.
This kid made a point to us today that he graduated from UT Chattanooga and felt that he owed himself one shot to play on the biggest level, and that Russ Hodge was the first guy to contact him and his agent and he felt like this was the perfect place for Honor Huff. And West Virginia fans love him.
Mountaineer possession. 5 minutes left in this one here tonight. And it's Jasper Floyd that controls it. He's caught in a double team. Gets it out to Jenkins. That's a three, and that's off to the right. And it's rebounded by Calmese.
That was way off. Play a little defense. Calmese is always attacking. Well done. Well executed.
Spillers again.
Calmese always has his heads up. He always sees the angles for the passes.
14 for Spillers and 7 of 12 from the field. Excellent night for him tonight. Jenkins back out for Huff. Now on the drive, on the kick. Moore. Misses the three. Colvin the rebound.
Well, a high quality shot just didn't go down. I love Nate Calmese and how he runs this offense. He conducts like it's an orchestra. He knows where everybody is. He knows who his best players are, and he gets it to them. And he cuts so well without the ball.
It's back to Colvin. 8 to shoot. We're under 4 minutes to go in the game. Timeout coming at the next whistle. Calmese. Inside Spillers. Wow.
From Calmese again. How good is Nate Calmese finding his two best players?
No look. Outstanding.
He's got his head on a swivel. He's got eyes behind his head, even with the mask on.
So after they got it down to 5, it's a 6-0 run as Huff is fouled. And he's going to shoot free throws when we come back.
Nate Calmese has been the story of this half because he always has his head up. He always looks for his best players. And one of his two best players is Trayvon Spillers. Trayvon Spillers, you are dunking it home. You are the man in Charleston. But
I did.
alligator arms somehow got into that wallet last night. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was a great meal.
It was great. We had fun.
Yep.
Charleston's been great. Look, I volunteer for this Hoops Fest Classic every year. This has been really fun. And how about Wake Forest? They're proving they can win a nitty-gritty game here tonight. They're up by 11 with 3:31 to go. I still expect a run from West Virginia, but Wake Forest has done all of the tough, blue-collar, work boot type of things to win this game right now.
Yeah, Forbes has got to be happy with his on this team. But they still have 3:31 to go to try to close this out.
A lot of time.
What about on the other side? You know Ross Hodge very well. Spent a lot of time with him. What do you think he's thinking about right now over there?
Full court pressure, forced turnovers right now. And Jasper Floyd is a guy that's been a steal guy right at the tip of the diamond right there. Number 1 in gold. He's got wingspan. He's got quickness. He's got anticipation.
It is a 9-point game. 3:20 remaining. 1 timeout left for West Virginia. 2 for Wake Forest. Possession arrow favors the Demon Deacons.
Look, if Wake Forest just takes care of the basketball, they're going to win this game. But West Virginia, they're getting after him. I mean, there's a foul right there. They got away with it.
Here's Harris. Leans in on a 3. That's no good. And a big rebound there by Amir Jenkins. Huff. Here we go. Relocated for, it's a 2. But was on the line. It's over the top of the backboard. That's happened a couple of times in his shots tonight.
The length of Juke Harris that time at 6'7" bothered the shot. He had to relocate because of the length, and then Juke Harris didn't really buy the fake and got right in his grill during the release. Great defense by Juke Harris.
Here's some pressure from the Mountaineers. They get it over, though. Wake Forest does to Spillers.
Give it to Nate Calmese. Let him make a decision. Purposeful passes from your point guard. Nate Calmese is the guy you want with the ball making the decisions.
He's got 9 assists tonight. 4 points, 3 boards as well. He's got it. There it is, Mark. You said it, and he finds Ballou for the wide open dunk.
Yeah, purposeful passes are winning passes. Again, knowing your role, executing your role. Nate Calmese again.
Jenkins, almost a travel, spinning back up top. Jasper Floyd. Moore. Nice.
But you can't keep trading baskets. You got to make a stop. I don't know if you can stop Nate Calmese. I mean, he's playing chess while everybody else playing checkers right now.
Spillers. There it is. Harris. It's a 3. And that may be very hurtful, to say the least, as they go up 12 with 1:42 to go. That was a huge 3, as Huff's 3 is blocked by Calmese. But right into the hands here of Floyd, and he's caught in a double team. Back out for Huff. A step back three. Offensive board Fields. Jenkins. Back to Huff. Huff again. He's trying. He just can't get it to go, and it's out of bounds off of Wake Forest. And a fresh 20 in the shot clock, but that used up a lot of time, Mark, and they're still down by 12.
And you've got to credit Wake Forest and their defense. They've got a long group out there, and they are challenging shot after shot after shot. Now they've got to get a defensive rebound. But credit this Wake Forest defense. They have bothered West Virginia on every shot.
They have. Huff. They'll let them do that. And a timeout by the Mountaineers, and that is their final timeout of the night. And so Huff has made it a 10-point game, but there's only 1:10 to go. It's time now for tonight's Player of the Game, brought to you by Carvana.
Yeah, Juke Harris, look, we talked about him in the open. His 3 layers of his game, from the three-point land, taking the ball to the rim, medium-range jump shots, his ability to get his feet set, shot preparation. And Juke Harris has just been tremendous here tonight.
That's 25 points, folks, in 25 minutes, by the way. So he missed a lot of the first half with 2 personal fouls.
We could feel the disappointment from Steve about the loss to Oklahoma. It's stuck in his craw. Look, he never loses at home. Ever in the last many years now. That's their first loss in years at home to Porter Moser in Oklahoma. Juke Harris went in that locker room and let everybody know how this next game was going to be played. And we've seen Wake Forest play with a chip on their shoulder tonight. And it all comes from that Juke Harris leadership after Oklahoma lost. That's why this team has played the way they've played.
Well, they've been outstanding and really good in the ACC as well over the last 5 years. And speaking of which, coming up next at 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC, Championship Saturday continues, capped off by Duke and 18th-ranked Virginia for the ACC title game on the football field.
Go Duke.
Gonna watch that one on the way back?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all over that one. I'm gonna have my ESPN app.
That's right.
I'm ready to go. ACC championship. I'm pulling for Duke.
Knocked out of bounds by Huff. West Virginia possession still, or Wake Forest possession still. Excuse me.
James Madison, Tulane. Yes. I'm gonna hear those names tomorrow.
How about Duke basketball-wise? 10-0.
Oh.
My goodness.
Cameron Boozer. You did a game at Duke.
Did.
Let's change roles here. You're the analyst. Oh, we got steal. Never mind.
Boozer's awesome, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Inside. And the reverse layup goes down for Jackson Fields. 55 seconds left.
Remember, no timeouts for West Virginia.
Spinning out of it is Cal Mace.
Now you play keep away.
To Harris. I thought he got fouled there. They didn't give it to him. Jasper Floyd tried to wrap him up. They do need a foul. Time is of the essence here. And West Virginia, that's not sure why they're not fouling here. Is they're going to use up some valuable clock.
Yeah, they can't foul now.
Yeah. And instead, Harris puts the exclamation point on this one for Wake Forest. 28. And he's 1 away from tying his career high. We got 20 seconds left. And the runner is good by Moore.
Boy, Wake Forest goes on the road. This has been a tough, gritty, physical, not a domination, but they've controlled this game for sure.
Big time win for Wake Forest. They get it done here on the road in Charleston as Coach Hodge and Forbes shake hands as Wake Forest wins it 75-66 here tonight.
Juke Harris, NBA player, really good.
28 in the win tonight. Mark, a lot of fun as usual. We'll see you again soon, man. That's it for us. For Mark Adams, Mike Corey, so long from Charleston, West Virginia. Thanks for watching. Demon Deacons with the win. Time now for UFC 323 from Las Vegas. Have a great weekend, everyone.